atmosphere and the physical manifestation of what these teams are fighting for, that gorgeous trophy blank.
On the plinth at the top of the pyramid, which all the players are currently clambering, trying to get towards the zenith and take that trophy home with them. It will be concluded in just 2 days. One of those days.
Big today.
Right now,
yeah.
In fact. As we come over from the top side of Sandhawk down towards the south side. Regnum Kai out nice and early around Cow at the moment. And it will be the second to last time we see Sandhawk here over at the playoffs for PMWC at EWC.
Curious as well, of course, of how things are going to go for some of these squads. We'll dial in. Oh, hang on a minute. Is it happening again? Power Gaming on the drop blank, the back-to-back versus 4 Thrives.
Yesterday it went very badly for 4 Thrives, almost immediately going down with Power coming out on top there. Let's see if 4 Thrives can get anything done, because right now they're in 13th place. Very much different to what we expected from them coming off the back of that group stage. Maybe they're feeling a little bit cold into this, but they back off over towards the western side of Hartin. Try and stall things out for a little bit longer while they find their footing versus Power.
I believe that was nearly a clean sweep last time as well. I think at most they lost 1 player and then made it out, obviously just completely dismantling the entirety of the 4 Thrives roster. Which you think about how much that threw a curveball into their day, Blank. Oof. If this happens again here, it could be a crazy start for Power. We'll dial in, we'll see how it develops.
Yeah, with the circle as well heading up towards the northwest side of the map, this fight becomes very, very important. Like you say, Al-Haji already taken around about 20% damage here. Sending the shots through with the Tommy. Round and back. 4 Thrives off. It's a good setup from 4 Thrives, actually, trying to control the western edge. Having sightlines looking up through the pathways as well. Does leave Power a little bit uncomfortable.
I mean, Falak just got vision there. Timing on the reload. Al-Haji on the peek back out. Bit of chip damage. That causes Falak to back off. Try and at least play for some time with the delay. Throw the flash back over. You got IQ up on the roof. And obviously, this is the verticality that you're talking about. Adds another element. For Hedans in the back line with Easy. This roof can provide so much additional cover though, so he can peek into them, and Al-Haji just can't quite get the angle. If he peeks through in the building, it's going to be really bad for him. Falak even re-engaging back onto Ragnar there and getting the first knock. T24.
Oh my
goodness! It's heavy. Big damage done. Noki with the reply. Instantly engaging to clean up onto the down players as well.
The rest of Power just not there to follow up, and Al-Haji with a heroic play will find 2, but not quite enough. Dropping Power now down to just the 1 player, and 4 Thrives come ahead of it without losing a single so far. Easy is going to bring something to the table, but it looks like he brought nothing with him but an empty plate. And Power go down first.
Oh, and you could see the stand up there. Looked like Noki popping off immediately, getting loud in the arena. They're all in the building, Blank. You see each other, you hear that, you see that. Memories from yesterday suddenly tainted for Power.
It was a great start for them. They felt good off the back of it. They ended up 6th place yesterday, around about 38 points, which is middle of the pack, I would say, in terms of teams that want to challenge for that first place. Yeah, going down here on Sandhawk early on a team that does prioritize a lot of those eliminations. I mean, we saw yesterday finishing off, I think it was the 3rd game, they had 25 elims, 0 placement points. So not being able to capitalize on a map like Sandhawk, which is very much elim heavy, that feels rough. That certainly feels rough for you. In the meantime, we've had teams rotating across. Here's Yangon Galacticos, a team that Kale thought would not be continuing.
We'll see if they can prove that the firepower is still there. If Galacticos can cast a shadow over the lobby once more again today. Already a nice start, keeping all 4 players topped up on HP and walking away with that 1 elim. And it's funny, actually, you raise a really good point with that, because I think Power, right, what was it, 9 elims on the game alone on the first game yesterday?
Yep.
And that was even with Easy having to kind of rat it out late game as a solo.
Oh, yeah.
He got the backstab onto Alter Ego. Oh, man. God, the storyline's developing, Blank. Interesting stuff.
Very much so. Speaking of Alter, a slightly quicker approach over towards the northwest side. Heading across the shallows. But they will have to come up against Ida, who has been a constant problem for them, actually, over in this playoff. They managed to squeeze themselves over towards the edge. In the meantime, the rest of the is currently battling off against Alpha. It's a nice shot, but it's immediately replied onto.
Yes, Darkin in the back line. We've got the connection there. Tap straight to the cranium on Refus. Roll up from Autorigo. They sense weakness and want to see if they can dive in to snatch away some of these points as well. Rita inside, but at least a little bit of cover to play. We've got Alva on a wide berth around the edge as well, so he can cover for the team if they further back, whilst they're advancing up close. Rosemary looking for the engagement here. Loves these close quarters fights.
S12K in his hands. Rita with the DBS is a distraction there that comes through, and at least they're able to find it. The Krypton almost dancing off in the distance, throwing up the Jazz hands, distracts him actually for long enough. It's a wild play. It's almost a comical play. And it allows Autorigo to find that Elim. They're laughing about it as well. So it showed Krypton's just looking like a clown in the distance. But it is so distracting.
Yeah, the smoke screen went up. The Jazz hands to dissipate it.
Bonk. Check this out.
Oh,
it's a little water on your face. Oh, got you.
Oh, mate. It's a great bit of comedy. Can't believe they're not only looking very dominant in PUBG Mobile, but they're practicing stand-up comedy routines.
Yeah, it's amazing. And stand-up that they'll have to in this game, right? I mean, starting in 4th place is a prime opportunity to get a little bit further into this one. They took a really quick rotate over towards northwest side, and Autorigo very much a team that is not afraid to go for these quick maneuvers, and I think they understood that. Their last Sandhawk, it was a little bit slow. In the meantime, though, 4th Rise are able to get a cheeky shot down towards the southern edge. That's onto Regnum Kaya, and so easy finding Scarface from Fireflux. So a lot popping off on the map, but it's actually quite difficult to keep track of it all as we get ourselves into more and more comfortable and favourable locations on the maps for this teams.
I had to quickly adjust my eye line, look over towards the map screen on that one before Pride's getting a knock on Loxy. He was quite far out compared to the rest of the squad, but had some cover. They've been able to go back over and look to pick him back up. So a few resources that are going to need to be burned on that one. DRX were on screen there as well, taking shots over towards Fireflux that I think it's fair to say yesterday, it felt like those two teams were scrapping early. We saw a similar start in game 1 as well, where DRX were able to snatch away a player, and it was far slower for Fireflux yesterday, Blank.
Very difficult. They got themselves locked in a little bit. I think it is hard, especially in this kind of lobby. There is a massive amount of teams that do like to rotate on the south side of the map past Painan, and it's creating a lot of traffic jams, which is why I think, actually, we saw Autorigo go for that aggressive play, and as soon as they heard that fighting, they could not afford not to third party there. They had to go for something a little bit more quick and aggressive because they wanted to secure location on the southeast side. Luckily for them as well, the circle centers up a little bit over towards the east, so they can continue to play over towards this coastal edge. Saw a big wrap through there on our screens from Fireflux over towards the valley, which is not a comfortable position to be in.
No, and it was uncomfortable in the rotate as well, losing 2 players now in total, and one of them being Scarface. Obviously, Sketch and Carface. Oh, hang on. That's the way you could tie it in. Kind of a jumble up of the letters. Ketch and Scarface were quite a lethal duo in how they were playing off one another. Instead, obviously, fragmenting that, you take Scarface out of the equation early. Ketch is still up, but I think you need both of them. The way they were playing off one another looked really good. The setups from distance. So we'll see if that comes back to haunt them. If the rough day from yesterday will begin to bleed into today's games. Team Secret here, nade on top. That's Sky from Hora kicking off the engagement. He's got 1 more remaining. Oh, close nade. A little bit late on the detonation. Team Secret find him. Already, Sky down and out. Shot back over. No fear, at least catches 1.
It's a weird engagement from Hora, honestly, getting themselves caught up in the mix of it. This is over towards the north side before they're crossing on that northern bridge to Hatin. I respect the teams that are trying to go for this more often. Yangon Galacticos as well found themselves a knock over towards Regnum Kaya in the midst of all that. Falek has moved down over towards Regnum Kaya, and Loxy replies in kind, sending a nade over his way, signed and delivered.
Yeah, curious if we can get vision on that one. Obviously, the Team Secret fight still being elongated here. Bit of a spread bout between the two of them. But that is a bold dive in. I mean, it's classic Falak, right? It feels like if he's presented with an opportunity, he'll try and grab it with both hands. Instantly engaged on there by Regnum Karia, though.
You're tempted to take the high ground that sits over towards their western side. It's an okay spot. There is a lot of sight lines looking down towards it. And I think Regnum Kai is just pulling themselves off from that angle as well. Now they know that the shot's coming in from the eastern side. It's smart from them. See if Noki's able to pick Falak up again. Regnum Kai might just be baiting that knock. Meantime, Team Secret will go down with No Fear and Sleepy picking up those final members. Mernat, though, will stick his nose in. Falak finally will bleed out on that north side. Loxy picking up that Elim with the nade.
Yeah, and I thought that was the setup there as well. Obviously, leave more time for you to try and run the risk of going to pick up Falak and then lose another player because of it.
There's a lot of fighting going on down the side. I'm glad we actually stop in with DRX as well as E-Arena. E-Arena has been impressive. I think it's a team that we didn't expect a whole lot out of, but have actually impressed quite a bit. But Alter Ego are in front of them. This circle is disgusting. This is a really, really horrible circle for a lot of teams. The entirety of the river just encompassing here, a lot of unplayable space. Yes, there's the shallows. Weibo have a member set in stone over towards the island as well. This is grim, dude.
Yeah, majority water in the upcoming zones. You've got to get a move on and try and establish some kind of actual safe playground. Already, fights continuing here as well. It's the arena that are head-to-head versus DRX. Soez is down at the minute. He's been knocked, but the shot's over, but they replied with one full confirmation on the Joker. Hang on a minute. Alter Ego as well. That's the rock up onto Falcons with a split. Two of the players spotted out there. Full confirmation onto one. You're able to shut that down. So again, Falcons going for the 2-2 group up. Doesn't work when they run into Alter Ego. Noki, going for the push up against Fireflux, and they're able to grab onto that one.
It was realistically their big play that they had to make as well from Fourth Rise to head down towards this valley. They couldn't swipe over towards the right side. There's a lot of angles coming through from the east towards them. The Fourth Rise will pick up the valley. They know that they can't push over towards Regnum Kai after they lost a player. T24 goes down in the back to an angle. Hard to pick him up as well. We'll have to crawl across.
You didn't quite see it, but you certainly heard it. And the damage there from Rosemary was enough to really put the backs up for DRX on the rotate through the vehicle. Bit of space between them as well. Hyunbin just on the cliff face here. We're back up from the team, but it's a clean divide down the middle. Alter Ego just trying to test the waters, throwing out those nades, seeing if they can get the chip damage in to have a better read on where they've gone.
Alter Ego just very much looking over towards that location. Like you say, testing the waters with the nades, trying to grab some hit markers. Understand where DRX is currently playing. Regnum Kaya takes down another, and they were certainly baiting out that pick as well. I think that's now Fourth Rise down to just the singular over in Noki, who has been fairly clutch in the past as just a solo. But it starts to get very heated down towards the southwest side with Falcons moving through, Koa gliding up the hill right now.
Yeah, showing off his former professional ice skating skills there. But Krypton, he's ready for it. Open ground, no cover, no trees to provide any semblance of protection. So it's an easy burst. And suddenly it goes down to one, just Koa. Obviously Falcons have preferred to play these fast, slower games on Sandhawk. Ever since they went into that survival stage, something changed. Still though, you've got teams just throwing you into the carnage in these lobbies. They just don't get to play the way they want to. Nonshin Red Force even making an appearance over in the Elim feed versus E-Arena, whilst Koa just has to sit and hope.
Yeah, Koa is going to get hard. And again, this is the big difference between Falcons and a team like Alter Ego, where the Falcons just took too long to make this cross. Yeah. Alter Ego was much more prepared to take the risk. And I think in the playoffs, especially with Smash ruling, you have to take risks on day one and day two if you want to make it through to the end. This circle actually pushes over towards Bootcamp, actually giving Nongshim Red Force an area to play on the coastal edge of Bootcamp. I think that is one player going down from Horror, actually. Weibo Gaming with he actually holding his own. Does have a teammate in Suk over towards the western side, so big split coming through from Weibo.
It really is only a matter of time until Koa goes down, but you could see the backstab there at least onto Alter Ego, resulting in one player being knocked. So a bit of a stab up close and personal with the cook on the nade as well. Hora looking to get revenge against Weibo as they push their way up. Cheeky nade could be enough. It's a molly through the window. Set fire to the cover that he's got to work with. Shots in the backline. That's Yangon that are coming in from the side as well. They actually get that full confirmation onto he as he peeks and know about Sleepy.
Yangon gets very lucky. Right, up towards the top side. They have had some good elims so far. They've been controlling the zone. That's 4 thrives now out. But for Yangon, this circle is just unheard of, right? It doesn't happen very often, but it's giving Yangon way more time than they necessarily should have had here on a Sandhawk Northwest circle. And they just get to play it out as 4. There is not a small possibility that they're able to get across the shallows and start actually working the game here.
Oh, the Wild West maneuvers coming in. Don't want none of this, brother. Running this. They begun in this. And Hyunbin hitting like the Buffalo Soldier up close versus Nonshin. Red Force shuts down another one. There is a couple trades back though, so DRX still suffering from casualties. And Nonshin, they have been very aggressive in the games we've seen. Even when it feels like they could opt to play slower, play passive, they get riled up and they take the fight to you. Sometimes it's been problematic. In this instance, it's working well.
Now, often to their detriment, but here where it matters most on a chaotic map like Sandhawk, they're certainly finding success off the back of it. Yangon Galacticos making that cross on the shallows, absolutely no one in position to hold them out. It's so funny to me, so funny to me. And with this circle, they actually have a top 3 possibility quite easily. With the 4 players they're still running with. An awful lot of water in this one. Players are going to start to get those soggy socks. We'll see if they can beat the heat here on Sandhawk just to get dry, to be honest.
They'll need it. Couple hair dryers, sort themselves out. Like a day at the theme park, Blank. Quick reset after a splish splash on a water ride. For Alter Ego, as much as there was that knock in the back line, but Weibo were able to get an angle onto them. You reset from it. Oh, instant tag out, and they crash onto this immediately. Soup with the DBS, taking the advice of the analyst desk. Let's see what he can do up close, though. Good with the first. The Kryptonite against Krypton. Read on the angle. Alpha, see you later. But the backstab is good to save it.
This is the problem, though. We currently have Alpha Gaming coming in from that western side, and this is a bad fight for Alter Ego versus the Solo. This could be easily third-partied onto. Teams can start to move up.
Oh, instant engagement to Alpha, though. Rosemary, he was the man in the back line that got one to open it up and bide some time, but it's a quick response back, Blank.
But that's all they needed. They just needed to buy time, and Rosemary gives his life for it whilst they prepare themselves to get back up again. Alva waiting on the doorway, sees a player get out, but there's hard cover in position, but he's going to take the time with a single grenade. Let's see what Reefers can get done with this one. It could be gigantic. Oh, it misses.
So close to blowing them to bits, but maybe you can handle it with a weapon instead. Nonshin on the move up as well, coming round from the ridge side. All of this noise, attracting commotion. Krypton cooks one for the reply. Bounce out the window on the lip. No damage done. Reefus still just waiting for an opportunity to shine. But Alva strikes with the DBS.
There is going to be so much fire coming their way, and Alter Ego laid low by Sook with the DBS. Puts away the bow and arrow, but it's a bullseye straight to the guys from Alter Ego. With only Krypton remaining, tries to take down the final players from Alpha Game who got ahead of them. Yangon Galacticos currently dealing with Nongshim Red Force, but they have been the beast inside the lobby.
Yangon. Nades over the top. Meanwhile, in the Elim feed, you can see Regnum Karia taking shots from Hora as well that are playing with confidence at the moment. Just wide on the nade. Panic. And it's not going to work out the way that they were hoping for. The team's getting fragmented. A sliver of HP is all they have. And with that, it's confirmed that they go down. We say goodbye to Yangon. No chance for the chicken dinner, but potentially a surprise in store for Nonshin. Push up on the ridge side with Doc getting close. He's still got nades to play with.
Alpha, the big dogs here, looking to push things further. Currently in 3rd place on the rankings. 2 players to work with. Doc moves up, moves forward. Nongshim Red Force, can they be shut down? Sleepy will be taken out by the play zone, trying to play out that match on the northeast edge. Ida through all of this, despite the early rundown from Alter Ego, have lived this one out in a compound on this eastern side of the Northwest Island, kept it chill, and look to get quite a few points off the back of this. They are unfortunately being a little bit passive on this one. I feel like they could get a lot more control down towards the southeast side. That compound is nice for cover, but look at all this space that they could be taking.
So many wide open sightlines and the potential for a lot of these Elim points to be soaked up by a few of the teams that are further ahead as well. When you think about Nonshin Red Force with the game they're playing right now, if they can just roam in, close down on Alpha, there's much more that can be done.
I think the thing is for Riyadh, they're just scared playing as two. Doxy will find one. Benny looking over towards Doc now, and it's a good shot backwards somehow, some way. Alpha Gaming come out on top. It's an incredible performance from Nongshim Red Force. They're angry, but Alpha's here to calm them down. The Simmer pot finally sits tranquil as Alpha Gaming need to keep pushing here. What an incredible performance from Doc. So low HP, but that adrenaline was thumping.
Oh yeah, Nonshin seeing red off the back of that one. Disgusting plays. Doc, the doctor is certainly in the house and he's looking to operate this one cleanly. They can buy time for it now. Slow it down a little bit, keep the pressure on.
3 teams, 6 players, 2 on each. It's the battle of the duos. What kind of dialogue these squads can have with one another going forward. Will it be argumentative? Will it be a complete shutdown? Or will it be a drawn-out conversation?
And for Alpha, it's the dream scenario with the teams being ushered closer towards them. The zone starts to force you forward. Loxy was always looking for this lockdown sightline over towards Ida. He's able to grab one with the play zone assisting as the third man for the squad of Regnum Karia. And they look to take the fight straight to them. Cheeky peeks on the head. Doc throwing up for the fists.
Silas?
He can grab it. Silas commits on the drive-in. Instant pickup from Zol. And it's just Loxy left.
Leaves it all down to Loxy, and Alpha Gaming look to put a win on the cards. 2 internationally gifted teams, but it is the squad of killers that will come out on top here. An incredible beginning to day 2 for Alpha Gaming.
In the playoffs already yesterday, Alpha Gaming were able to find placement after placement, surviving late into the early flow of games that we saw. But they're not content with just placements. They want raw chicken dinners to kick off today, and they make it look clean. Heads-up maneuvers, the crash from Nonshin Red Force, the fact that they handle that one and then go on to win it, that is an amazing opener.
It's a team full of big egos on the side of Alpha. It's in the name, realistically, but the fact that the companionship looks so good on that squad right now, everyone's working together. Doc looks nowhere near as outrageous as he used to. He's playing hand in